All right. What's up, everybody? Gonna do another live here. It's been a little bit. Been a little bit of time since I did one. Had some work, went on vacation, but I have some awesome new games to show. So, I don't know why this doesn't show up on the YouTube live stream page. Oh well. But I'm gonna do, if I get enough people in here, I'll show off some games that I got. See, I got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. I got 10 new games over the last week or so. What's up? Yeah, I got a haircut, man. How's it going? I looked at your new drawing. I do like that one better than the first one. I gotta find a way to incorporate it somehow on here. Yeah, I'm doing one a little bit earlier. It's actually probably not the middle of the night for you for once. So we'll see if we get more people in here. I want to show off some new games I got. So I got, let's see, one. So I got one Dreamcast game. I got one, two, three, four, five, six NES games, one GameCube game, one Nintendo 64 game, and one Sega Genesis game. You can do whatever you want with it. All right, cool. Thanks, man. 6:38. Yep. See, it's actually a decent hour for once. I feel like normally I do these and it's like 2 a.m. for you. So not sure how many people will get in here, but if we get enough people in here, I'm gonna hopefully try and show off some new games I got. But if not, I plan to do another one of these lives. I think probably what's today, Thursday? I'll either do it tomorrow night or on Saturday. I think the best time for these is like around 5, 6 p.m. Eastern time in the US. That's when I seem to get the most people in here. So anybody watching get a Switch 2? Any success? I did not log on. Oops. Trying to see. I guess my post didn't go through on Instagram, so I can there we go. Let's make sure people know I'm live so they can join. But I'll probably do one, yeah, Saturday, uh, around 5 Eastern or so, maybe a little earlier, or maybe Friday. I just have a meeting later tonight, so I can't do it at that time. So curious to hear about everyone's Switch 2 experiences. I personally didn't get on and try to get one, but I see they're all sold out now. And I even see some people who bought some for like $700 on eBay, which I think is crazy. You should not buy $700 Switch 2. Just wait. Like that, eh, that's what the people want. I have some issues with resellers, so I'll give a little bit of time here, and then we'll take a look at some new games and stuff I got. I'm trying to see if I have anything else to show. Not gonna get it. I'm skipping this console. Yeah, I mean, I'm at least gonna skip it in the beginning. I'll be honest, that are um there's no games that are coming out for it at launch that I'm super excited or really want to play. So, and my Switch 1 was actually a gift to me, so I never even bought it myself. And I honestly don't play it a lot. I don't play it enough to make it worth it. I do like the Switch 2 is going to have online play. So, one of my cats is scratching and meowing at the door and wants in, but we're going to keep her outside for now. Yeah, really not a lot of games on Switch that I'm looking forward to. So um give it a couple more minutes and then we'll show off some games if anybody wants to see some new games. I got new pickups this week. So I got some good ones, I'll tell you that. I got one game that I'm excited to show because I didn't even know it existed. So hopefully maybe you all have seen it. I never saw it before. So um they're they're charging 100 US dollars for physical copies of Mario Kart World in Europe. Yeah, I saw the just the console itself was $700. I'm just gonna keep gaming on my PC. I just started a game on PC called shoot, what was it called? High on Life. High on Life, and it's pretty funny. It's I don't recommend it for children because it's got some crude humor in it, but it's made by the same guys who made um Rick and Morty, I think. I mean, definitely some of the voices are in there, but it feels like Rick and Morty for sure. So I haven't beat it yet. I'm on like the third boss or something, but it's pretty fun. I recommend it. I remember that game. Yeah, it was on sale on Steam, so I was like, yeah, why not? I need something new to play. And I've been traveling a lot lately, so I just played on my little handheld ROG Ally PC. So, but yeah, guys, drop in the comments anything chat wise or in the comments if you're watching this at a later date and time. If you got a Switch 2 or if you plan on getting one or what your plans are for Switch 2. High Life features a voice actor I love named Zach Hale. He made a show called Smiling Friends, very funny series. Is he the one that does? He's not the one that does the voice of Rick and Morty, I don't think. Who is he in the game? Like what character does he voice in the game? Maybe several. I know sometimes those guys do like several. Um, so let's see. All right. I guess I'm gonna start showing off some games here. And I can always show them again if people come back. But the I don't know if I mentioned Dreamcast. I got a Dreamcast game. So, my Dreamcast collection isn't very large, but there's a Dreamcast game that I wanted to add to my collection because I remember playing it a long time ago. And I think it's on Sega Genesis as well, but so the first game I got is Echo the Dolphin for Dreamcast, and this is CIB. When it comes to Dreamcast games, I don't buy loose discs. I only buy things that are complete in box. So we've got Echo the Dolphin here for Dreamcast is the first game I picked up. That kind of voice is one of the two guys in front of that door that you have to talk to. Oh, yeah, 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 I know what you're talking about. There's like a red one and a blue one or something, and you have to talk to both of them, and you tell one of them that, yeah, one of them that like he's attractive or whatever, so you can get through the doors. Yeah, that was a funny part. Um, so I'm interested in the Echo game on Dreamcast. Seems atmospheric. Yeah, I played it a lot. I played on Sega Genesis when I was younger. And I never really understood it. I didn't know what to do, but I've seen people play it a lot lately, and there's videos of people playing it, and they're playing like beating it's like aliens. Essentially, it's all about aliens, which I didn't know, but looking forward to checking that one out and seeing how it goes. Other game I got was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. This is a Sega Genesis. This is also complete in box. So I have kind of wanted this game for a while, but I couldn't find it, and I couldn't find it for a good price. So I finally did find this game for a good price, and I obviously love Ninja Turtles. I have all the other Ninja Turtles games. This was one of the ones that I was missing. So yeah, it's like a fighting game, but it has the Ninja Turtles characters. So it says it has instant replay, so that's cool. So I haven't played many games with instant replay. All right, and then Nintendo 64. I like picking up games that if I see one that I've never heard of or one that might be, you know, interesting to me, one I want to check out. Played it with a friend a while back. Nice. So I picked up this game, Rat Attack, on Nintendo 64, just a loose copy. I usually buy loose copies of cartridge games like SNES, NES, and Nintendo 64. So this is a loose copy here. It's like a puzzle game where I think you're trying to catch all these rats by moving stuff around and seems interesting. So, and then never heard of Rat Attack. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it either. Usually, if I see a game I haven't heard of and I look it up and it looks kind of interesting, I buy it because I'm interested in playing it. So this next one, I didn't know existed. So I was on vacation in Florida, and obviously, whenever I go somewhere, I have to go to different game stores, and there's only one game store nearby. But it had this, and I picked it up because I'd never seen it before, so I thought it might be kind of rare, but This is a preview disc for Nintendo GameCube that has 5 playable games on it. So it's got Sonic, it's got Beautiful Joe, it's got Billy Hatcher, and it's got Splinter Cell and Soul Calibur 2 is the other one. Soul Calibur 2 is the other game. So there's all the games on the back. Um, and it's even got 2 downloadable games for your, I think, GBA there, Dr. Mario and Wario World. Um, and this is complete in box too. But again, I'd never seen this before, so I didn't know anything about it. I like things that I've never seen. I like things that are a little rare. So it's also a not for resale, if you see here. So it must have come in some sort of box set or came with something at some point in time. So if anyone knows anything about this, let me know. Interested to hear where it came from. So, and they're all two-player games, it looks like. Well, the ones that are two-player, you can play two-player on, which is nice. All right, now the bulk of what I got was mostly NES games. So, believe it or not, I had never owned Dr. Mario, so I had to pick up Dr. Mario. Oops, Dr. Mario, which is a nice loose copy here. Actually watched yeah, that's retro on Instagram. Play that a couple days or maybe a week or so ago. So that got me excited to get that. And then I got this game is a game I thought was always cool. I had played it a little bit. I never owned it, but it was a pretty clean copy. It came with a bundle as well. That's why I got some of these because they all came together. But Kid Icarus on Nintendo. So pretty fun game. Another nice looking copy. The guy I bought these all from put these little plastic little protectors around it, so I'll take those off eventually. Let's see what else we got here. Another one I got, which again I was surprised. I thought I owned this, but I guess I didn't. Um, Friday the 13th. So really hard game. I played it a few times. I played it back on an emulator once. I know I've seen some people play it online. It's pretty tough. Not the easiest of games to play, but definitely a classic that everyone has to have in their collection. So that's Friday the 13th. Next up, so this one we got the Manny with as well. Again, I don't normally buy manuals for games, but it came with the game. I remember playing this game back in the day as well and having a lot of fun with it. Strider. So Strider's a pretty cool game. We got a nice clean copy of Strider, and then also with the Strider is the manual here. So this is a very nice, clean manual. Um, and it's very crispy. So keep that back in here. Kind of cool looking at some of these old manuals too, because they put a lot of work into these manuals, which I didn't realize. Um, Other game I have here, which is another game that came with the manual, is Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, which I didn't have in my collection, so I added it. This one also has the manual here. This way, Simon's Quest, Castlevania 2. Played a few of the Castlevania games. I played the Nintendo 64 one once on my stream, and it was okay. It wasn't that exciting, but it worked. And then the last game I picked up is probably the most expensive one. I loved well, I'll just show you this one. So Toxic Crusaders for NES. So it's a pretty expensive game here. This is a very clean copy of this game to add to my collection. I looked at it before in a different store and didn't get it, but I've always been interested in playing it. So now I have it, and now I can play it. So, guys, if you're in the chat, feel free to comment, some of your favorite games, or if you want to see if I have a certain game or anything about retro gaming. If you got a new Switch 2, if you were one of the lucky few, make sure you like, make sure you follow to see more more cool gaming content. But that's all the games I picked up over the last week. I know that's a lot. So about 10 games. I've got some more coming in the mail. I think I've got like maybe three or four more games that are coming that I'll do another episode on. Um, but yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well today. Let me know if you guys have any questions, want to talk about anything. I think it's cool when we get more people in here because getting more people in here allows us to. I love how Toxic Returns began as sort of a superhero spoof and adult comedy, then got turned into a kid-friendly cartoon, and got video games. So strange. Yeah, I do. I remember watching the cartoon when I was younger. I don't ever remember watching the adult comedy, but I did watch the cartoon when I was younger. It's like a one of those core memories that was with Ninja Turtles and like Scooby Doo, I think was then and Power Rangers. All those cartoons were like all one and the same in parts of each other. So see if I got anything else to show here. So here's a game that a lot of people have a lot of interest in, but the Nintendo 64 version. So you got Clay Fighter. So again, this is the Super Nintendo version of Clay Fighter. But a lot of people, as you're aware, there's the 63 and a third Clay Fighter for Nintendo, or yeah, for Nintendo 64, but there's also the Sculptor's Cut, which goes for like $1,000 these days. It's very expensive. It was a Blockbuster exclusive, so um, I wanna point out like this is the most recent episode. If you guys haven't checked out the most recent episode of my podcast online, please do. Maddie New and I talk. We're not experts. I up front, I'll let you know we are not experts, but we talk about how to spot fake games. We talk about how to clean some games and stuff like that. So this is a this is a game I have that is clearly a reproduction, and I show it on the show as or on the episode as well. But a couple things. The label, it's hard to describe. It just looks weird. It's all kind of shiny too. And then this Nintendo logo just doesn't look great. Um, Reproduced. And then usually look for on the back, there's an embossed letter. See how shiny that looks? There's this embossed letter. Sometimes this Nintendo logo is off. What someone told me is you that copyright symbol above the O is way off. So let me grab like a normal. Yeah, so like this is a red cartridge, so it might show a little differently, but see the difference? Like it just says Nintendo. There's no copyright thing up there. And then there's your embossed number right there. And then see it's not so shiny on the back. And then you've got the front, which again is not shiny really at all. And then the pins here, I don't know how easy it is to see. They're brown. So, and then if you, I'll show the pins for the repro again. If you look at those, they're nice and white. They're very, yeah, all signs to tell you that this is a reproduction cartridge, which I don't mind. This is when I first started collecting, and I got this Conker's Bad Fur Day for like 20 bucks because I really wanted to play Conkers and I didn't have it. And so I bought it. I didn't even know reproductions were a thing, but hey, they are. So, um, let's see. What else is floating down here? That's Power Stone. Let's see. What we got here? This is a fun game. If you guys have never played it, Ready to Rumble Boxing. So I remember playing this a lot on the Dreamcast. I think this is one of the first games my brother and I played. Um, but it was pretty fun. It was kind of difficult, but definitely something to check out if you have a Dreamcast. It's a must-own for the Dreamcast. And then let's see, what else we got floating down here. At some point, I'll be moving soon, so I have to pack all these games up, so I'm not looking forward to that. But we'll get it done. So here's a game that I thought was going to be more fun than it was. I love basketball. I love Michael Jordan. I love Larry Bird. So I got Jordan versus Bird 1-on-1, and that's pretty much all it is different competitions between Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. You can choose one or the other. I'm pretty sure their attributes are exactly the same, and then you just play against the computer. So you can do a 3-point contest, I think. You can do a one-on-one game, I think. I think you can do a game of horse as well. Um, let's see. This is probably one of my most favorite and underrated NES games of all time, and that's Burger Time. I would love to own a Burger Time arcade game in my house just because Burger Time is such a. I even own a complete in box version of this game. Maybe, yeah, since I am going to be packing up soon, maybe one thing I'll do is I had a request last time about some of my more expensive stuff and some of my sealed stuff, which is in another room. Maybe I'll get all that together before packing it up and show that off in a show as well. Let's see what else we got. So Tecmo made a lot of sports games. A lot of people know about Tecmo Super Bowl, but they also made this World Wrestling game thing to compete with the WWE F, I guess is what you call it. Just a generic wrestling game, nothing too exciting. Um, let's see. I don't know if anybody remembers this game, Double Dare. But I remember this show back in the day on Nickelodeon was a lot of fun. I remember playing this game a lot too. And there's one level or challenge where you had to like throw some pies or something at a target, and it was the controls were just impossible. I remember struggling with that so much. So, um, a lot of people know about Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation. But what they don't know is that um, before Metal Gear Solid, and many people know this, but not all. There was Metal Gear for the PlayStation, or sorry, for the Nintendo. So this also got a sequel to it, which was known as Snake's Revenge. So these are two of the original Metal Gear games, and then they went on to do Metal Gear Solid, and then they have I don't know how many games there are now, but there are a lot of games as well. And then there's also Metroid right here, another classic. People love the Metroid games. There's a new one coming out for Switch too. So, and I think this is the Nintendo Classics or whatever it was called series. So, not an original like first print or whatever you want to call it, but still a fun game. So, like I mentioned, Kojima hated the NES version of Metal Gear. It was very different from solid PC original. The second Metal Gear game on NES is completely different from the Metal Gear 2's. Yeah, they are definitely completely different. Um, yeah, I personally I don't like Metal Gear either. I don't think it's that great, but um, to each his own. So there's a lot of Power Rangers games that came out, especially on Super Nintendo. I think there's three total. So you've got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers here, the movie right here, and then you've got just Mighty Morphin Power Rangers here. There's a fighting one, which I don't believe I have the fighting one, but that does exist as well. So definitely a lot of those on the system here. Let's see. A lot of people know Final Fight, but here's a more expensive one called Final Fight Guy. Not sure if I showed that one off before. I think I may have, but it's got the Blockbuster sticker on the back still here. NES games don't really fit with the timeline of Metal Gear Solid series since they're super different. Such an interesting thing. Yeah, that's funny that they don't fit with the timeline, but hey, they are still Metal Gear games. Don't forget about them. So here's a game that I streamed a while back. Someone recommended I get it. Um, Plock. I had never heard of it. Very hard. I looked online too, and a lot of people think that this is a very difficult game as well, and I agree. Very simple in terms of controls, like many of the Super Nintendo games where it's a platformer, but very difficult. You don't get any continues or restarts, so you kind of have to beat the whole game from start to finish, which is which is rough to do. Um, we got this black cartridge here. Block has amazing music. Yeah, the music's pretty good. Music's pretty good. We got Killer Instinct here with the black cartridge. Not sure where I got Killer Instinct from. You know what? This Killer Instinct. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. For a second, I thought it was a repro, but looks okay. It passes. This is the test. Here's a couple of some super hard games that came on the Super Nintendo. If anyone remembers Battletoads, so we got Battletoads Battle Maniacs is one, and then we got Battletoads and Double Dragon, which is another one. These Battletoads games were a lot of fun. Um, they were difficult for sure, but a lot of fun to play. I don't know if you guys have ever played them. I'm sure you have. Very fun games. And then kind of an interesting game. A lot of people know Capcom for Resident Evil and a bunch of other games, but believe it or not, Capcom actually made on Super Nintendo a football game. So this is Capcom's, um, what is it, MVP football. So I think I got this in like a lot of a bunch of games that I purchased. I didn't go out of my way to buy this game specifically, but and then we were just talking about Castlevania, so I have Castlevania 4 on Super Nintendo, and then I do have the Castlevania 64 as well. I think everyone remembers the Crash Test Dummies when they were younger. They made a game out of it. It's not very fun, in my opinion. You just go around kind of avoiding obstacles and you lose like a leg or an arm or something depending on what you hit. But that's Crash Test Dummies, guys. If you're joining the chat, just if you want to see a game, if you have a recommendation on a game, if you have a question about retro collecting, if you want to talk about the Switch 2, whatever, guys, I'm down for whatever you guys want to do. Um, and, let's see, got a couple more. So again, this is I have Mike Klein. What's up, brother? How's it going, dude? We're just chilling, chatting about games. I got some new games that came in that I showed off. Now I'm just going through picking out random games. So, greatest game of all time, Resident Evil 2. Fight me. Seriously. This is the best game ever made. And this is I think an original game that I had from way back when. It still works, still in great condition. Got my Switch 2 last night, pre-order. Oh, you lucky. Where'd you pre-order from? Was it Walmart? Was it Amazon? And I think Best Buy was the other one. I heard a lot of people did not have that kind of success. So you got lucky, dude. You got very lucky. So um I have this. This is a sealed PlayStation 1 game I have called Rage Ball. I've never heard of it. It's sealed. I don't, I mean, have any intention to really do anything with it, but it came in a lot of games. 45 minutes in line at Walmart online. Well, hey, at least it worked for you. A lot of people said that it didn't work and they couldn't get through, so I'm glad you got it though, dude. I didn't stay up late enough for that. Target and Best Buy dropped the ball. Oh, you couldn't get it from them? So a lot of people we were talking about, so I have Metal Gear Solid here, and this is the greatest hits version. This is again a game that I have kept since my childhood. So Metal Gear Solid, it's in great condition. But what people don't really, I think, know about, and what I think is a fun game to play, is Metal Gear Solid VR Missions. Really fun. So you basically go in and you have like little targets that you have to destroy. You have to sneak past people without getting caught. Just different little mini games, sort of, and it's a lot of fun. Metal Gear Solid VR Missions. I highly recommend this game if you like Metal Gear and you like stealth and espionage, that kind of stuff. A lot of fun. So, what else is over here? So here is the. A lot of people also don't know that there's multiple copies of Resident Evil, the first game. So, for example, most people probably have seen this one. And this is the director's cut. There's also a greatest hits version director's cut, but this is two discs because this came with your Resident Evil director's cut, but it also came with a demo for Resident Evil 2 right here. I'm playing Assassin's Shadows is really good. Yeah, I remember you playing that last time. So you're still playing it, huh? And then you got this is the other Resident Evil that a lot of people I think this was the original cover art. And they got rid of this and this is the older kind of first print copy. They actually have a long box version too, which I also have, but that's in my other shelf. So Resident Evil game's exactly the same, just a little bit different on the cover and everything. So um, let's see. I'm just pulling out random games at this point. Um, so this is probably the worst game I've ever played. Hey man, hey, what's up? How's it going, Rick? How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to chat if you have any suggestions. You want to see a game? How's your day, by the way? Oh, not bad, not bad. Just hanging out, showing off some games. Yeah, if you have any questions, you want to see any games, you have any recommendations, we're just chatting about all things gaming. So feel free. This is the worst game I've ever played. If you're watching this and you think this is a good game, please let me know. But I was recommended to buy this game and play it on my stream a few months ago, and I don't know, man. I don't think I'm that bad at video games, but this was rough. I just couldn't make it past like that second or third level. Opinion on the band REM. They have some pretty good songs. I do like, 90s music. I think some of my favorite bands are like Third Eye Blind, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was born in the 80s and enjoyed a lot of the 90s music. So REM has a couple good songs. I don't know that they're like one of my top five. What about yourself? What about yourself? What do you think of them? For me, childhood favorite. Okay, that's cool. So then the other thing that people talk about when they talk about PlayStation is Twisted Metal. And so I have, Twisted Metal 1, Twisted Metal 2, Twisted Metal 3. That's a black label. The other ones are all greatest hits, but they're all complete. And these Twisted Metal 4 were a fun game where you basically just it's like Destruction Derby. You got cars and you can go around and the object was to destroy the other cars. So I'm trying to look for here we go. This this is another if you Ghetto Finger. Oh, what's up, man? How's it going, dude? Bowie AFI are my top two favorite bands. All right. I'm not surprised, Mike Klein. Mike Klein. I'm not surprised at that. Hey, good morning, Ghetto Finger. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Just showing off some games. Um, so a lot of people know about Resident Evil, and that's like my all-time favorite game to play. But I think a close second in terms of survival horror, at least on the PlayStation. There are a lot of great PlayStation games, but Parasite Eve. If you've never played Parasite Eve, it's got a pretty good story. It's pretty fun to play. The long game, it's two discs, and even the sequel, Parasite Eve 2, is also a double disc here. So definitely check it out if you're into those kind of games. Because they're my childhood favorite band, I have decided that when I get someone to build me a time machine, I would get reborn and look like a younger version of their guitar player, Peter Buck. Nice. Yeah. Speaking of time machines, hold on. What a lot of people don't know is that, I didn't know this originally, but Back to the Future has a game on Nintendo. So, Back to the Future with the type of build that Nomar Garcia Para has. Okay, all right, that's fair. He is great. Yep. Parasite Eve is definitely a good game. Highly recommend it. Um, so I got some more pickups for these you guys are just joining in. So I'm just curious if any of you have ever seen this before. I picked this up at a store. I'd never seen it before. It's a preview disc for GameCube. I got a good deal on it. I wanted it because I'd never seen it, but it's got 5 demos. I don't know why it doesn't show Soul Calibur 2 on the front. That's the other demo that's on here. Plus, it has downloadable content to your Game Boy Advance for Dr. Mario and WarioWare, which you can see right there. But I did not know that this existed. So if anyone has any information on this, this is one of the new games I just picked up. Let me know, because I've never seen it before. And then on top of that, whoops, on top of that, I also got a nice complete in box Tournament Fighters, which is fun. Sell you that? Mike, you want the I'm not selling this. I don't even know what this is or how much it is or where. Dude, I'm not selling this. It's like an anomaly. No one has this. So I want to know if anyone knows anything about it before I decide to sell it. No, I'm not selling. I don't sell it. I don't sell my games, Mike. You know that. Much more like a younger, more athletic version of REM's Peter Buck for a face physically, even though I wouldn't be a musician. You could be a musician, a baseball player instead who would play for the Cincinnati Reds. Okay. Yeah, no, no, that's fair. That's fair. Do it. Ha ha ha. No, I'm not doing it. And then I also got the Toxic Avengers here. Nice nice game here. We were talking about how never seen that. You never seen what? Toxic Avengers? This is a good game. This used to be a cartoon back in the day, dude. If you didn't watch, like, what were the shows? Scooby-Doo, Spider-Man, the X-Men, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, and Toxic Avengers, man. I was in a band for like 6 years. I remember you told me that. What did you play, dude? You were guitar, right? I think you said you were the guitar. All right, some other classic PlayStation games here. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver is a fun game. Eidos used to be a amazing um, game company. I don't know what happened to them, but they made all the Gex games. I don't know if you guys have. Oh, speak of the devil, look, Gex is right here being advertised on the front cover of Legacy of Kain. October's Flame. Check it out, YouTube and Spot. All right, I'll check it out, man. I've never seen that GameCube multi-disc thing. That's why. Yeah, dude, I've never seen it either. Soul Reaver is badass. It is. It is. Also, if you know who Nomar Garcia Perez, you're very likely to know he had a very unusual batting routine that included batting glove adjustments and toe tapping. Lots of baseball players have weird things they do before they go to bat. I'll do that as well, by the way. So yeah, Soul Reaver. This is a classic. Sounds like it's a fan of Ghetto Finger Gaming's. So cool game. Here's one of my classic favorite games for PlayStation, The Lost World Jurassic Park. I don't know if you guys can see how the lenticular cover moves the claw on there, but I love this game. This was like I always when I was younger, I was like, man, I wish they would play a game where I could be a dinosaur. And there it is. Look, you're the T-Rex. So you can be the dinosaur. I think you play as a couple other dinosaurs too, not just a T-Rex, but and you also play as a human. Oops. But definitely a fun game. Now, guys, I don't collect many Xbox 360 games. There's not a lot of Xbox 360 games I collect. I just have ones that I've acquired over the years and never sold off. At one point, I sold off a bunch of them, but I kept some because the ones I kept were important to me and really fun. What we got going on here? Square Enix completed the merger with that's what it was. Absorbing it into your group called Square Enix. Yep. Yeah, I knew that something happened. I knew they didn't go completely away. And also, if I were to play for Cincinnati Reds, they would also do completely different branding, completely different look as well. Nice. That would ditch their wishbone style C for a fancy block C. Okay. Show me that GameCube thing again. I'm gonna screenshot it. All right, yeah, yeah. Here it is. Oh, how's that? I need you to find out what this is. I need you to find out where it came from, what it did. I think it's only worth like 20 bucks, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. So anyway, in terms of Xbox 360 games, again, I don't have a lot because I just have what I collected over the years. That's how I collect all over the spectrum. Yeah, I typically collect all over the spectrum, but I stick to NES, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, GameCube, Sega Saturn, Sega CD, and PS1, PS2. Did I say that? So I I limit myself. I don't do any what are they called handhelds just because I would just be too much and overwhelming. But if you guys have never played these games, Batman. So here's Arkham Oregon or Origins. Here's Arkham City. There's also Arkham Knight. If you guys have never played these games, I highly recommend playing these games. They're amazing. Very fun, very immersive. The story is great, and the gameplay is awesome. You're gonna look it up right now. All right, look it up. Let me know what you find. I'm curious. I'm curious. I looked it up on price charting, and it said it was like 20 bucks, but it didn't give me any more information. 13 to 20, another demo that should be worth way more. Yeah. And then let's see. Another one of my favorite games that I haven't talked a lot about before is actually Borderlands. So I still have Borderlands 2, which is pretty good. That was a very good Borderlands game, very fun. And then I have Borderlands the pre-sequel, which was okay, not as good as the other games, but definitely enjoyed playing Borderlands. Vita, Game Gear, PSP, Game Boy, and OG Game Boy. I stack for those. Yeah, I don't do any handhelds. I do have some Game Gear games that I inherited, but I got cases for them all, and I don't really play them. 20 and 60 on eBay. Weird range for that demo. Is that the recently sold or is that the for sale? Because there's a difference. There's a difference. We got GTA 5, another classic, probably my favorite GTA of all the GTAs. And this still has I just got 2 discs, and I think this has the map. Yeah, this still has the map in there and everything. So I think that's pretty rare to have these days. Uh, and of course we got Halo 3. Halo 1 was great. Halo 2 was okay. Halo 3, in my opinion, is the best Halo of all the Halos. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but that's Halo 4 was pretty good too. 128 Game Gear games. Nice. I think I have somewhere around 20. I don't have too many for sale. What about recently sold? Look up recently sold. Price charting is king. I agree with you. I agree that price charting is king. I think that that's the best way to tell what price something's going for. A lot of resellers will tell you, no, you can't use price. Oh gosh, I just dropped all my games. A lot of resellers will tell you that you can't use price charting because it doesn't look at the condition, but you can actually click on the links and go to the eBay listing and see what the condition was um, to see. But it's outrageous that some people look at price charting and see a game that averages, maybe $60, and they say, "Well, my copy's clean, so I'm going to sell it for 100." So I just never got that. I just don't like when people do that. I don't like resellers. I'll be honest. Mike Klein is the only reseller that I like. So, um, and then this is probably one of my favorite fighting games, Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. This is a lot of fun, combining like Batman and the Joker with DC characters was a lot of fun. I really like that fighting game. And then let's see, I picked up a sealed copy of Donkey Konga 2. I have an unsealed copy as well. I ain't selling jack. Yeah, exactly. I don't sell anything either. The only time I will sell or get rid of something is I'll trade it in if I have doubles of it, or a lot of times if I buy like a lot where it comes with many different games, I'll buy a lot and let's say it comes with a DS or a Wii game, I'll trade that in because I don't collect them. then we got Zelda for GameCube. I know everyone's a big fan of Zelda, so Zelda Wind Waker here. This is the player's choice, which I don't think is as expensive as the non-player's choice. But this is for Mike Klein, who I know loves Zelda. I'm not a root seller. I just sell off part of my collection, make room for more stuff I keep buying. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, there are definitely people who will buy a game and then price it up and try and resell it just to make a profit off of it, which is crazy in my opinion. Those people have no respect for the games. So, all right. I mentioned to everybody that I'm a big Resident Evil fan. So, in order to be a Resident Evil fan, you have to have every copy of Resident Evil that's possible on GameCube. So, I have Resident Evil 0 right here. Then I have Resident Evil. Now, this is a remake, so this is a little bit different than the original Resident Evil on PlayStation because there's the Crimson Heads and the zombies can come back to life and come after you, and there's a few other differences as well in the game. If I get stuff I don't want in bulk buys, I'll do in-store trade. I've done that a few times. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Then we got Resident Evil 2 right here. Resident Evil 2, which I didn't even know came out for GameCube. It's come out for like every system, honestly. Then we got Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Okay, right here. I think I have, a Resident Evil game for every console. And then we got Code Veronica X, not to be confused with Code Veronica, which was on Dreamcast. Code Veronica X is a little bit different as well. There are some scenes that are changed in it, and there are some a little bit of a few differences. But overall, it's still the same game, and still the story is essentially the same. And then Resident Evil 4. This feels really heavy. Why is this so heavy? Oh wow, what's in here? This too. Oh, well, that's interesting. I just opened up my Resident Evil game and it has, everything here, but there's an extra disc too. I don't know how I got an extra disc too. Goes for like 400 steal of the year. Buy a huge grade game, lot 60 games for sale. Moving, yeah, yeah, moving is a pain, but I'm gonna have to do it. But I'll make it work. People who mark up games are pitiful, dude. It happens all the time, and I hate it. And especially like even with the Switch 2, people are already selling it for $700 and people are buying it, which is crazy. Minty. Yeah, all these Resident Evils are minty. Whatnot, you gotta help be careful. Yeah, whatnot, you gotta be careful. There are plenty of people who are only in it for a profit. I mean, there are a lot of people. I would say the people that are in it for a profit outnumber the people who aren't. And that's just my opinion. But that's just what I think. So, all right, got some more GameCube games coming here. So, Code Veronica is awesome. Yeah, Code Veronica is probably my second favorite Resident Evil game. I would say number one is Resident Evil 2. That's the best one. And then Code Veronica is my second favorite. I loved playing that game on Dreamcast. That's the original system I played it for. All right. So back to more Zelda. So this is the non-player's choice of Wind Waker that I have as well. Mike Klein, this is for you, bro. I know you love Zelda, so I'm going to show off some of my Zelda games, even though I'm not a huge Zelda guy. Mike Klein knows that, but he's like the biggest Zelda person I've ever seen. And then these next two are maybe a little, I don't know. Mike Klein, you tell me. I think these are a little more rare. So we got the not for resale promotional disc of Zelda. So it's got The Legend of Zelda, it's got Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, it's got The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and it's got Majora's Mask on here. And it's also got a playable demo of Wind Waker. So it's got four games and a demo essentially, but it's complete. So make them show you every part of the game on cam. So, oh, dude, Ghetto Finger, Mike Klein can vouch for me. I've asked people, like when I've been wanting to see games, I'd be like, oh, can you show me the seal? Like I'd look at a sealed game, or can you show me the back so I can look for the embossed number? And they'll refuse and then they will just boot me because like I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting a legit game, but they end up booting me. I think it's crazy. I think it's because I call them out basically. And then here's another cool Zelda one. So this is another demo. This is a two-game bonus disc. This has Ocarina and Ocarina Master Quest, never before released. It's not for resale. Has these all these games on it here. And then I think it's got, is it like videos of these other ones? Yeah. Yeah, like 1080, Wario World, Metroid Prime. Um, and this is also complete. So complete. All right, what else we got? Here's a cool Mario game that not a lot of people might know or know that exists, but you got Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. This actually comes with a dance pad, which I have, um, but this is complete. Basically, you go through the story and you have to do dance moves to defeat enemies and um, exactly what it would what you would think it would be. So it's interesting. Can't say I played it a lot, but so we got that, and we got let's see, what else we got? Oh, here's another Xbox 360 game that I didn't show earlier. Um, we got Game of the Year edition of Batman Arkham Asylum. This is a not for resale version as well. I'm not sure if it came with something. Oh, and it's got some 3D glasses with it too. Forgot about that one. So yeah, gamers always like show me the disc where it's from. What's your mother's band? Yeah, dude, I gotta know that I'm getting a legit deal. And then these people are like, no, no, I'm not gonna show you. And I'm like, well, why not? Why won't you show me, right? So, just to backtrack some of the other cool stuff I got, I think I showed the Turtles game off, and then obviously the demo disc, and then the Toxic Avengers. Um, but I picked up Simon's Quest 2, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, which has a nice, cool manual with it here. Strider as well here also has a manual with that. And another game I didn't have in my collection. It's Friday the 13th, which I picked up. Kid Icarus. Lots of NES games that I got this week to add to the NES collection. I'm trying to build the Super Nintendo, the regular Nintendo, and the N64 collection. I think those are my focuses right now for my collection. And then Dr. Mario, which of course I have to have, but I guess I just never had it. Rat Attack for Nintendo 64, and then Echo the Dolphin for Dreamcast. Guys, if you haven't checked out the recent episode that I just released yesterday of the podcast, Maddie Newey and I, who this is the second time on the show, we talk a lot about um, how to spot reproductions, how to um, look at games to see if they're fake or not. And we talk about how to clean them too, because a lot of times I think, at least for me, I see a game and it's dirty or it's got a bunch of stickers on it, and I'm like, I don't want to buy that because that's just too dirty for me. So I highly recommend checking that out because it's pretty cool episode, and hopefully some people can learn some stuff from that. Let's see, what else we got? What's sitting over here? Biker Mice from Mars. I think I showed that one off the other day. I think yeah, for reals, y'all said he likes this game. He liked the cartoon back in the day. So that's a game I have there. And then another one was recommended to me by a follower was Sonic Blast Man. So I have not played this yet. They told me it's quite fun. So I look forward to playing it. Again, if you guys, man, I'm just dropping stuff all over the place. If you guys have any recommendations on games that I should play, games I should add to my collection, games you want to see, let me know. I'm more than happy to buy them and take a look and play them. Um, Speaking of some of the other stuff, I have this game again. It's a Wii U. I don't know what I should probably sell it. I don't know if anyone's interested in it. It's what is it? Pokken Tournament? Pokken Tournament? I don't know how you would say that, but it's sealed for Wii U. I got this in a mystery auction a while ago, and I have no idea what to do with it. I think I'll just trade it in. And then I got a bunch of racing games as well. But I also got multiple copies of a sealed Madden 22. There's one, there's two, there's three. I actually kept one for myself so that I can play it. But all right, what else we got? Let's see. Here is a demo disc for Sega Dreamcast, which is kind of cool. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that. I don't have a box. I think it came in like a little plastic sleeve. Not even sure which games are on it, but it's not for resale. So I've had that for a long time. So, and then another cool Dreamcast game we got is Illbleed. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. I had never heard of it. I actually had to look it up, but it's kind of a scary survival horror kind of game. But it looked really fun when I looked at the back of the cover. You look at the back of the cover, it looks pretty cool. So definitely a game I'm excited to check out and play. And then another cool Dreamcast game that I had never heard of that looked I looked up and looked pretty cool is D2. I think this is also on PlayStation, maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but D2, it's a four disc game. It's kind of another like sort of scary mystery monsters kind of game, and there's like different weather elements, like you're in the snow and all this. So, oh, it's got mature sexual themes. Okay, another game that I'm excited to play. I don't know much about it, but I did look it up, and it looks quite fun. So, guys, if there's any thing you want to see on the podcast, or any questions you have, or any games you want to talk about, just leave a comment, leave a message, whatever you want to do. We're just here to talk about games. And I only have so many games that I can show off. But make sure you follow the podcast because there's a lot of cool people that come on there, show off their collections. My collection is tiny compared to some of those. We had Ben Ritchie on previously, who has like seven, no, 16,000 games or something. He's just insane. Um, Alex Dodman. Hi, everyone. Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by. It's chatting about games. I was just saying, make sure you follow the podcast. I have collectors from all over the world, people who have some awesome stuff. I've got a few episodes more that I've filmed that are exciting. I've got some more ideas for some new episodes coming forward. You can follow me on Instagram, because that's where I show off my collection and just pictures. Um, so let's see. Mega Man X. It's another good Mega Man game. Not sure, not sure why it's gold in the bottom right there, but the Super Nintendo logo is gold, but that's interesting. E-Town Tech. Hey, finally able to catch one of your live shows. Hey man, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I was just showing off some games, and we're talking about we were talking about Switch 2 a little bit. We were talking about some new stuff I got. I don't if anyone's in here now and they've ever seen this before. I picked this up. I was traveling and went to a game store and they had this and I had never seen it. It's not for resale GameCube game, but it has 5 demos. It's got the four here and it's also got Soul Calibur 2, but you can also hook it up to your Game Boy Advanced and get Dr. Mario and WarioWare Inc. So I had never seen it before. So I picked it up. It was like I think I got it for like $15. I think it's listed for 12 on Price Train, but never heard of it. So um speaking of E-Town Tech, who's in here, we were talking about Whatnot Sellers. He's a good Whatnot seller. I recommend if you guys buy stuff on Whatnot, follow E-Town Tech. He's got some good stuff. He's a nice guy. He's always making deals and stuff. But I picked up this from him. So Metal Storm, I do remember. I purchased it from him. Pretty fun little game, like a side-scrolling platformer thing where you're a little robot jumping around. Very similar to, I think, Metal Warriors. Is that what it's called? On Super Nintendo. I feel like it's kind of similar. Metal Warriors, I think, is a far better game. But let's see. What else we got sitting over here? So there's this game that I did not like. I don't know if any of you have played Mario is Missing. I just couldn't get into it. I just played it for a little bit and I didn't like it. There's another game called Mario's Time Machine, which I'd like to play, which sounds interesting. It's got like Abraham Lincoln in it in a Mario game, which is crazy. Dang, that's a nice demo disc. Looks like one of those that would be added as a pre-sale gift from retail. That's what I think too. I haven't been able to find where it came from or what was with, but I love to collect those kind of things, like things that are rare or maybe you don't see a lot of. Like I have this other Resident Evil 4 demo disc here. It also has videos of the other games on here, like the remakes for GameCube. And then I was showing some other demo discs I have. Let's see. It seems like all of these came out on the GameCube because like there's this one too, which has the two Zelda games on it for GameCube, and then there's this one, which is the promotional disc for Zelda, which has the four games. It's got Legend of Zelda. It's got the NES games essentially, and then Ocarina as well as Majora's Mask, and then Wind Waker as a demo. So kind of fun. Mario's Time Machine is such a trip, dude. I want to play it. I just don't. Someone told me about it, and they're like, "Yeah, Abraham Lincoln's in it," and it sounds like um, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in video game format, which is a lot of fun. What's your favorite character? Your favorite game? Favorite game. This is my favorite game of all time. Resident Evil 2. I think the story is great. The characters are great. I think the whole franchise is awesome. This is probably my favorite game of all time. Um, if I had to pick like from NES, I would say NES. My favorite game on NES is probably this Super Mario Brothers 3. I think it's a classic. This is the later print. There's a Left Bros, which I have a box version of in another room. Um, that's my favorite NES game. And then favorite Super Nintendo game. Man, again, this changes from day to day. So Super Nintendo, we'll come back to that one. Well, no, probably this. Oh, not this one. Hold on. Where it is, it's this one. This is my favorite Super Nintendo game, Turtles in Time. But this is also a not for resale version. Um, so it's got this demo. I have a couple of these for Nintendo 60 or for Super Nintendo, and I do have a couple for Nintendo 64 as well. But these are the demo kiosk versions that if you went to the grocery store or whatever and you played on the TV and broke your neck because you were looking up at it, these are the ones you played. So they're a lot more rare. I have Donkey Kong not for resale, and I have a basketball game not for resale for Super Nintendo. Favorite Nintendo 64 game is, if I can find it. Man, I have these all alphabetized, but I'm having a hard time. Oh, here we go. This is my favorite Nintendo 64 game, GoldenEye 007. I think it really started off the first person shooter franchise. A lot of people say Perfect Dark is better. I don't disagree. I think Perfect Dark is a better game, but if you don't have GoldenEye, then you don't have Perfect Dark. So I think Perfect Dark is a good game for sure, for sure. But GoldenEye started it all. I have a bunch of boxes I need to go through from promo stuff when I worked retail back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Probably a lot of random game things and those. Nice. Yeah, let me know. I would be happy to take some of those off your hands. I love that kind of stuff, like the not for resale stuff and the interesting kind of more rare stuff. Um, let's see. PS2 favorite game. Um, man, hard to say. Hard to say, but definitely Resident Evil is my favorite sort of series of games and say favorite. I have Resident Evil on almost every system that I own. So many hours and days of my life were spent in GoldenEye matches. Yeah, definitely. Same here. I wish there was a way that you could play it online against people. I know that Analog is coming out with that new Nintendo 64, but I don't think you can play online. I wish you could. I wish you could. Let's see. Another game I got recently was Crash Team Racing. This is like the PlayStation's version of Mario Kart, essentially. I think PlayStation tried to do with Crash what Nintendo did with Mario. So they made a racing game like this. They made um let's see. They made Crash Bash, which is like a um party game, kind of like Mario Party would be with all these little mini games in it. It was fun. I think they were both pretty fun. Um, and then they obviously had the regular Crash games, but those were pretty fun. Oh my God, sell that stuff to me. No, no, no. E-Town Tech, do not sell it to Mike Klein. Sell it to me. Mike Klein doesn't want it. He only wants it because I want it. So, you guys, I got some cool episodes coming up. Um, let's see. Next week we've got Leo Kami. If you guys follow him on TikTok or anything, he's got a pretty huge collection that he goes through. He streams almost, I think, multiple times a week. I've got an episode where we talk all about Resident Evil, which I'm really excited about. We've got a lot of Nintendo collectors, some rare Nintendo collectors. I've got a place called Embracer Games, who is in Sweden, and they have a video game archive where they have tons of sealed and everything games from all over the world that they collect in order to build this archive. So if it's a game that you've heard of, then they probably have it. So some cool episodes coming up. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and like the shows. Make sure you follow me on Instagram just to support the channel. Because sometimes, I take time out of my day to do this, and it's a lot of work sometimes, but I do enjoy it. I enjoy meeting new people, and the more people that like and follow, the more of a community we can build, so that we can learn more together. It's all about learning. I need that stuff in my collection. Mike, you don't need it in your collection. You only want it because I want it. So just don't even pretend like that's why you want it, dude. So anybody out there, get a Switch 2. Did anyone try to get one? I know I have a couple friends on Instagram I saw that got through. I didn't try to. I looked this morning, but obviously they're all sold out. I saw a post of someone who bought one on eBay for $700. P. Michael came to Florida and we went to Disney. Haha. Nuh-uh. Are you serious? Are you being serious right now? Did he really? I don't believe you. Another NES game, Guerrilla War. Never heard of it. I got it in a bundle of games. Not really sure much about it. Power Blade, which is definitely a cool, fun game. Power Blade 2 is pretty expensive. I think it's kind of rare. So tried and failed. Last Hope is the Nintendo Store pre-sale whenever they go live with that. Yeah, man, I know a lot of people that tried and failed. I was like, man, I gotta work early in the morning. I'm not gonna stay up and try because it's not gonna be successful. So I'm just gonna wait. I didn't really have a lot of interest in getting one, but maybe in the future. I just don't play my regular Switch enough. So I've been playing a lot more older games, and my Xbox I play a lot because my friends all have one, so we play online. All my life with Frisky went to Epcot. What? Do you have a picture? Send me a picture. Prove it. Send me a picture. I want to know. So you guys are Inflame Media. How's it going? Welcome to the show. We're just going through showing off some games. I already showed off, some new games I got. Make sure if you don't already subscribe to the podcast, you subscribe. I do a podcast every week where we talk about collecting. We interview collectors, get tips and tricks from them, and see some cool stuff. Um, and I have an Instagram where I show off my collection as well. So, Inflame Media, did you get a Switch 2 or were you in line to try and get one? Got mine from Walmart last night, bundle edition 500, waited like 40. Mike, stop rubbing it in, Mike. I have the texts. Screenshot them and show me, dude. I want to see them. I don't believe you. Did he talk about me? Does he still do shows? Because I haven't seen any, and I don't know if I'm blocked. But no pictures, but all the text. Send them. Bible Buffet. So a lot of people probably know about the game. Where is it? I know I have it. Aha. They're actually really nice. Yeah, they seem really nice. I'm not gonna lie, they seem nice. Bible Adventures. So this game, if you notice, it looks a lot different. It's because it was not licensed by Nintendo. There's no Nintendo logo on this anywhere. But this is like three games in one. They're not very fun. But to each his own. If somebody likes it, hey, I can support that. But then you got Bible Buffet, which is also another game made by the same company. And, Bible Buffet, I'll admit to you, is pretty terrible. I didn't understand it. You go through like dodging hot dogs and pizzas and ice cream cones, and I'm not sure what it has to do with the Bible at all. But dude, I want to see those texts, man. That's what I want to see for sure. Dun, dun, dun. This is a game that was a lot of fun. I remember Krusty's Fun House. Super Fun House. Sorry, Krusty's Super Fun House. There are a lot of Simpsons games. I really love the arcade game for The Simpsons. Not sure if anyone else likes it, but I wish I got the Switch too. But at the same time, I have so many games on backlog. I'd rather play those first before I have a new system, if that makes sense. No, I hear you, dude. I think that's kind of what I was trying to say. Like, I don't have any interest in getting one because I would not play it. I don't even play. I don't even play the first Switch that I have anymore. Have you played Maniac Mansion on NES? No, I haven't, but I know of it. Definitely one that I would like to play. Have you guys ever played Resident Evil on Nintendo? Resident Evil? I bet you guys didn't know that Resident Evil came out on NES. Very rare. Very rare. Right here. How you play? Check whatnot DMs. All right, dude, I'll check them out. Check them out. I feel bad because I think that he and I got off on the wrong foot. But I mean, I was a mod for him and everything, but he's a cool guy. I like him. I have no hard feelings. I'd love to buy stuff from him again. But a couple bangers here, DuckTales 1 and 2. These are games, that a lot of people loved. They're pretty hard too, but definitely fun games. I completely understand where you're coming from. Yeah, yeah. I I don't have any interest. I also don't have any interest in paying that much for one. I I feel like everyone's either PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo, and I'm Xbox, and the only reason is because my friends all have it, and so we play online together. And if I had a Nintendo Switch, I would just be playing by myself. And I'm more of like a multiplayer game kind of guy. I love multiplayer games. So, okay. Porky Pig also had a game. Not sure if you guys knew that. Porky Pig right here. Haunted Holiday. It's it's a decent game. Most of these cartoon games are not that great, but I brought it up. He also feels bad and didn't mean for all it to go down. Oh, that's good. But does he still sell or does he have me blocked? Because I can't tell if either has me blocked or doesn't sell. I go to his profile and it doesn't show any shows. So here's a complete in box semen. So this was a game where you basically like grew this guy. There he is right there. And you could like talk to him and it was based on the clock. So like if you left 24 hours and didn't feed him, he would end up you'd come back and he'd like die. So this also comes with, if I can get this out without breaking it, has like this little thing that goes in the memory card slot of the Dreamcast. And there's a little spot here because in that little spot goes, oh, dropping stuff. Well, there's essentially a little microphone that plugs into that, and that's how you talk to him. And it's got the game here, Leighton box. So pretty cool game. They don't really make games. I always thought Dreamcast had some cool games on it, and I just don't think it got like the support that it needed. And I think that's why. Oh gosh, I'm gonna break everything trying to put this back in now. Very tight in here. There we go. I don't think it got the support it needed. I think it could have been a lot more successful. But poor Sega. It happens, you know. We were talking about this earlier. This is the one of my favorite Dreamcast games for sure. Resident Evil Code Veronica. Not to be confused again with Code Veronica X, which is the GameCube version that I have. It's two disc version. So crazy to think that games used to be two discs. He hasn't sold in like months or taking a break. He said he had unblocked her videos. He just didn't know what to do anymore. A situation as a seller, it's kind of hard when that doesn't help you at all when dealing with stuff like that. Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, it's good that he didn't block me. I hope he does some more sales because I definitely enjoy buying from him. He made some good deals. Made some good deals. So another game for Dreamcast, Rayman 2, The Great Escape. Rayman's a cool character. If you guys have never played any of the Rayman games, highly recommend it. Oh man, just dropping stuff all over the place, huh? Guys, drop in the chat any retro collecting questions you have, any suggestions on any games you want to see, any games you suggest I should get. Maniac Mansion. I saw that recommendation. I'll definitely check that one out for sure. Let's see. It's another not for resale game on the Super Nintendo here. This is Donkey Kong. So just to show you the difference, you got Donkey Kong Country regular, and then you got the not for resale version here. See, this one has the name of the game up there. This one has not for resale, demo only. So a little bit of a difference there on those two games. Um, what about um, what about Dragon's Lair? Anybody ever play Dragon's Lair? Dragon's Lair, huh? Pretty cool game. It's like it's kind of difficult to if you don't know what you're doing to figure out how to play. Did you know Dreamcast is Xbox now? I think Sega, yeah, Xbox. Well, I mean, Sega's still making games and stuff, but yeah, you're right. It's essentially, I think, just making games for Xbox, right? So this is Earthbound. A lot of people go after this game. I I'm not a huge RPG fan. I am not really that excited and into Earthbound, but I could do, without it. But it's one I feel like you have to have in your collection and you have to play through at least once. Interesting thing about this copy is it also has this scratch and sniff thing that came with it. And I think this is basically like when you were playing the game, there were certain parts where you're supposed to scratch or something and you could smell what was going on. Um, so I don't think it still smells. I think I scratched it off and it doesn't really smell anymore, but it's still there, which is kind of cool. Dun, dun. Obviously, we got the classic Super Mario's and Duck Hunt. Everyone's got to have that in their collection. So, yeah. Guys, make sure if you are watching and you don't follow already, make sure you follow, make sure you like, make sure you share. Helps build the community. Just trying to make sure we, spread knowledge and get some learning when it comes to retro collecting. There's a lot out there. There's a lot to see, and I definitely didn't know what I was doing when I first started, and I still don't really know what I'm doing. I'm still learning. So appreciate any follows, likes, all those things. Um, New podcast episodes are weekly, every Wednesday. A new collector from all over the world. Had some cool people on there. I've had Matty Nui on there twice. I just posted an episode where we talk about how to clean games and how to spot reproductions. We're not experts in any way, shape, or form, but we highly hope or we hope that this helps someone to find reproductions and how to clean their games. I like old games because no load ups and downloads too. Yeah, definitely, definitely. So there's a plus minus to that. So they don't load, but like you have a game like Mega Man, and you have to have someone to write down your password. If you don't write down your password, then you might forget it, and you might be stuck, and now you can't go back. So the save feature is a better thing nowadays. There's Mario Brothers here too. A lot of people, I don't think, realize that there is a Mario Brothers classic that is not the same as the Super Mario Brothers that people or most familiar with. This was an arcade game originally, and then yeah, and then there's no instruction manuals either. So the cool thing about games now is they have instruction manuals, right? So like I remember buying games. I would buy games like this, Crazy Taxi, and on the way home, I would open it up. I'd take the book out. I'd be reading the instruction manual on the way home. I'd be looking at the pictures on the back. That would actually something I'd look at before I would buy it. I would remember going to Walmart and asking, the person working there, can I look at, Crazy Taxi? And they'd pull it out and I'd look at it to see if it looked interesting because there's no internet back then either. So you couldn't look stuff up online. You had to rely on the pictures that they put on the back. So definitely different, especially with digital games now. The ones doing digital games. So we'll see how that works. Oh man, I'm out of drink. Getting thirsty. I don't know if you guys have seen these before. Bongos. These work for the Donkey Konga games, which I'm excited to play soon. Hopefully, I don't know if anyone's played them. I'd like to know if I can hook two bongos up and play simultaneously because I would like to play like versus, but each person use a bongo, but I don't know if that's allowed or that's possible. So, um, I mentioned I have Resident Evil on almost every system. Resident Evil 2. I think someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Resident Evil 2 is the only Resident Evil game that was on Nintendo 64. So again, correct me if I'm wrong. So, I was talking about earlier that you can see a little embossed number there. That's one way you know that this is not a reproduction. And then also, when comparing these Nintendo logos at the top, see how there's that copyright symbol. Someone actually pointed this out to me. But see the difference in the copyright symbol? It's a lot smaller up by the O. Here it's like gigantic and it's like basically impinging on the O. And so definitely a way that you could tell if a game is fake. I liked when the Nintendo 64 did the different colored cartridges. So Donkey Kong 64 was an example of that. This is a repro, actually, this one. So I bought a couple repros when I first started collecting because I didn't know that those existed. I didn't think people would stoop to that level, but I guess they do. Same here. I used to go to Toys R Us and buy games too. Then, yeah, Toys R Us was awesome. I think I didn't have a Toys R Us in my town. I had a Walmart, so that's where I got all my stuff. But this is one of the games that you have to have the expansion pack to play if you have a, Nintendo 64. That and then there's Perfect Dark. Well, I think Perfect Dark doesn't require it. Perfect Dark just allows more stuff to happen if you have it, and then the same is true with one of the Zelda games that you need it for. So then we talked about the not for resale games earlier. So this is Super Mario 64, not for resale. So, it looks exactly the same except for where it says not for resale there. Here's the normal copy. Just not for there's no not for resale there. So if you want to see the difference here. Yeah, and these ones, unlike the Nintendo 64 ones, they're still blank. I can't really see under this one because I put that sticker on the plastic, but there's nothing on the top. And the Super Nintendo ones actually will say not for resale on the top of them. So that's a difference. So um let's see. Yeah, those are too far away. I'll be moving soon, and I'll be having a new game room set up. It's going to take some time to probably get set up. It won't be done till the fall, probably, but I'm going to have some arcade games, and I'm going to have my games all set up very nicely in my consoles, and so I'll be doing a tour of that when I get that set up. I also would like I'm going to PAX East in May, so I'd like to do some sort of thing with the show, or maybe I do some live streaming from there, or just do some clips and upload them. Curious if you guys would be interested in seeing any of that from PAX East. Um, I assume it's allowed. I'm not really sure if I can video or not, but I'll definitely check. So but yeah, make sure you guys follow and like. Make sure you guys watch the podcast shows. I've found them as doing them to be very informative and very helpful with collecting, and hopefully you guys do too. Definitely shows off some things that I've never seen before. Definitely shows some things where I'm like, man, I need to check that out, and I go out and I buy it. So definitely a fun time. There's Power Stone. This was we were talking about Mario Party and then Crash Bash, and then I think Dreamcast had Power Stone, which was the same, like little party games and stuff that you could do. And then it actually got a sequel on Dreamcast, Power Stone 2. So here's a CIB copy of that. Let me know what you want to see, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any suggestions on games, on guests for the podcast. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. This is just basically an open forum, just a place for chill people to come in and talk about retro video games. So I'm not an expert on any of them. Sometimes we get people in here who are experts, and the more people we have in here, the more fun the chatting is. So appreciate everyone who comes in. So again, thank you guys. So let me know if you guys have any questions or there's anything you want to see. You play Mario Party on Switch? Play with me, dude. I have it. Yeah, I have Mario Party. I have what is it, Jamboree? I think, and then I have one of the other ones. Dude, I don't think we're Switch friends. We need to add each other to Switch. I'll have to add you as Switch. Just send me your Switch code through like Whatnot or something. I rarely play my Switch, I'll be honest with you. I'm listening as I buy stuff on Whatnot. Dude, I rarely mm, I rarely play my Switch. So it'll be like but the reason is because it's in a different room and it's like the main TV where we watch TV and sometimes my wife watches TV and so it's hard to get so I'm gonna have a game room and the new house that we're going to move into is hopefully I'm going to have multiple TVs. So I'm going to have one TV to have like my Xbox hooked up to and like my newer systems. And I'm going to get a CRT for like my SNES and my NES, and then another TV for all the other stuff, so that I can have like a lot more leeway to be able to play. Same, yeah, exactly. So it's tough to play the Switch. My retro games are much easier to play because they're on in a different room and a different TV. And my Xbox, I use my Xbox basically as like a turn my TV into a smart TV. So that's how I navigate like Netflix and stuff like that. So that's also out there. It's much easier to play the Xbox. I've got two, one upstairs, one downstairs. I think we have we have a TV in the bedroom, TV in the living room, and then this game room here. So those are the really the only options. But the next house that we're gonna move into has a lot more TVs. So there'll be I'm excited to show you guys what I'm gonna. There's a room in the basement that's perfect for just like a gaming and podcasting room, and I'm excited to show it off to you guys. So it should be pretty fun. As do I. Haha. Yeah, dude, we all do. We all do. So let's see. What else? Feel free to pop, anything in the chat that you guys want to see, anything you want to hear about, any questions you have. Otherwise, I'll just keep showing off games. So, Paper Mario, I never previously played. Also, my baseball game device. My Xbox is my YouTube Hulu device. Oh, my baseball game. Nice. You need to start buying a collection of Nintendo Power magazines. I got them to bring back old times. I've looked at a couple actually of Nintendo Power magazines. So the magazines that I subscribed to when I was younger, I didn't subscribe to Nintendo Power. I subscribed to the official Xbox magazine, and I remember it would always come with a demo disc, and I used to have every single demo disc of the official Xbox magazine, but those got at some point lost, sold, thrown away, whatever, and I don't have those anymore. That's the one magazine I remember. I also had a couple episodes or a couple issues of the PlayStation magazine that existed, but I never had Nintendo Power. I've seen some of them for sale for sure. Nintendo Power is I've never been a huge Nintendo guy. PlayStation was my first like real like favorite console, I think. And then Xbox has been the one I played the most recently. Dude, I collect those. Dude, you gotta sell me some then. You gotta sell me some. I started collecting Nintendo Power for the poster mostly. Yeah. Yeah, the poster mostly was good. The demo discs were pretty cool too, because it was like you got a demo disc every month, and it had like 5 or 6 games on it, and they were always decent games. Just bought the Xbox demo disc with Def Jam on it. Oh, you bought the Xbox demo disc with Def Jam. Nice. Well, speaking of Def Jam, I guess I haven't really shown a lot of PS2 games. They're harder for me to reach. They're a little further away. But I do have Def Jam here. It's a complete in box copy right here. Interesting game. I'm not sure what the demo consists of, but it's a fun game to play. And then another popular game that people have been looking for is Futurama. Futurama is a fun game. It's like hit or miss. Some people don't like it, and I think those are people who have never watched the cartoon or are not a fan of the show really. Because I liked the show and I really liked the game. I didn't think it was too repetitive. I thought it was difficult, but I thought it was also kind of fun. So it's another cool game I got there. So I just sold one. Dude, you sold Def Jam or Futurama? And how much did you get for it? Because, like, I think it's gone up in price. It's probably like $400. You have Futurama Wild. Oh, yeah, you didn't know I had Futurama, dude? Dude, I also have. Let me find it. This is gonna be tough. I gotta. I promise I'm still here. I'm just looking for a game. Here we go. Oh, here's a Resident Evil game that doesn't get much love. Resident Evil Survivor. This was like a shooting uh, game, which was kind of cool. But I feel like they should do more like that with like a gun con. But it's pretty fun. It's kind of a new take on Resident Evil. But I apologize for this case, but I need to replace this cover. This is like the original case from when I had this game. I've had this game since I was probably like 12 years old. I've had this game since it came out. So, um, and the cover is a little, you know, bad condition, but the game is, I think I resurfaced the game at one point, but it's good. Silent Hill, another good classic PlayStation game. Um, let's see. Do I have Simpsons Hit and Run on PlayStation 2? I bet. Let me see. Fun game. I have Simpsons Hit and Run right here. This is CIB PS2. Fun game. Love Simpsons Hit and Run. And then there's also Simpsons Road Rage. This is the greatest hits version. But, if I have the greatest hits version, I usually don't buy the other one. And then this actually has the coupon. There's a coupon that came for it with this game for Simpsons toy. And that coupon is still in here. Simpsons Road Rage. And then the other Simpsons game on PS2, the Simpsons game. Kind of like Futurama. If you're a fan of the show, you're probably a fan of the Simpsons game. Kind of fun. Makes you feel like you're in the cartoon. But yeah, there's Simpsons right there. Dun, dun, dun. And then we showed Futurama, another game that yeah, they're just kind of stuck in here. Another game that I need to play, Haunting Ground. Definitely a cool survival horror game. Haven't played it yet. Definitely need to play it. And is this the one? No, there's one that's like 2 player. I forget which game that is. It's 2 player that I'm thinking of. One that everyone asks if I have is Rule of Rose. I do have it. Haven't played it yet. Need to play it. Looking forward to playing it. Rule of Rose, pretty expensive game. Great game. Yeah, all these games are great. I only buy great games, Mike. I don't buy games that are not great. So here's Rule of Rose in case anyone wanted to see that. What I'd like to do is start streaming again. Once I get a better setup, I'll be able to do some more streaming. So we'll make that happen. Kind of rare too, Haunting Ground. Yeah. Haunting Ground is kind of rare for sure. Erica, what's going on? How's it going? Welcome in. We're just talking about games. I've been showing off some games and some new ones I got, talking about the podcast, talking about a little bit of everything. So feel free to, any games you want to see, any suggestions if I don't have a game. Clock Tower game. All right, hold on. Clock Tower. Man wants to see Clock Tower. I have like all the survival horror games because I love survival horror. So I've got Clock Tower 1 here, complete in box. Clock Tower. And then I also have Clock Tower 3 complete in box for PS2. I think I got this, Mike Klein, I think I got this from our boy Michael, but complete in box. I don't have Clock Tower 2. I've been working to find that for a good deal. I just don't want to pay, I think it's like a few $100 and I'm not interested in paying that much for it. I didn't really like the first Clock Tower. So, um put this game back over here. How do you feel about Cyberpunk on the Switch 2? Worth it or not? Well, let's talk about the Switch 2 for starters. And I did not pre-order one. We talked about it. A lot of people in here. I think Mike Klein said he got one. I didn't pre-order one. I wasn't interested in pre-ordering one. I don't play my Switch 1 enough. I don't think there's no games really I'm interested. I'm not a huge Nintendo guy to be honest, especially Switch. NES and SNES and N64, I love those. But um Switch 2, I it just didn't seem worth it to me. I don't play my Switch enough. There weren't enough games on it that I want to play. But maybe, later on down the line I'll get one. Cyberpunk, I never played Cyberpunk, so I, don't know much about it. Wasn't like the kind of game that I had ever been interested in. So, worth it or not on the Switch 2 for me, not worth it. But if you're someone who likes Nintendo games, I could see that it would be worth it for you. I think the online play is going to be cool. That's why I never really was into Switch because I like Xbox where I can play online and have party chats with people. Do you have Samurai Western PS2? Can't find it anywhere. Walmart has the goat last night for pre-order. As weird as it seems. Yeah, I had heard that people didn't get Walmart to work. They didn't get something about Best Buy didn't even work, but someone else said they used Target, which I didn't even know Target was doing pre-orders. Um, I do not have Samurai Western for PS2. No, but that sounds like an interesting game. A Western and a Samurai mixed together. That's pretty cool. Donkey Kong. Yeah, I think the new Donkey Kong will be pretty cool, but they redesigned his character. It seems like what they did with Mario because you had all the Mario games on Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and then what happened was you turned Mario into a 3D game with Super Mario 64, and so I think that's what this is going to be more like is a 3D sort of game. I've never been huge into Mario, Super Mario like that. Like I have Super Mario 64. I also have the not for resale version of Super Mario 64. I just never, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I would say if I got a Switch 2, there's a new game that's made by From Software, who made Dark Souls and Elden Ring. I think that doesn't come out at release, but comes out later. That would be the one game that I would get. And if I had to decide between a release day game, I think Donkey Kong would be the one. I've not played some of the newer Donkey Kong games, but I have all the older ones on the Super Nintendo, the originals. I have this Donkey Kong game, which is, the first Donkey Kong, but also a not for resale version of that Donkey Kong game, which is the ones that were placed in the kiosks at the stores. So a lot rarer. Happy for the DK Love. DK2 on SNES. Let's Here, I'll just show all these while we're here. So there's DK. Here's Donkey Kong Country 2. Nice clean copy of that. I think I got these from Michael as well. And then we got Donkey Kong Country 3 right here. Yeah, I sometimes the older ones were the best. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. DK2 is one of my favorite games. I'm waiting for more DK love. It's my favorite. Yeah. No, I'm happy that they made some more Donkey Kong games. Definitely. Um, let's see. Um, I got the bongos for the Donkey Kong games. I like kind of obscure things, different peripherals. So yeah, the older ones were definitely good. Trying to think, do I have any other Donkey Kong? I have Donkey Kong 64. This is a repro. This is not an original game, but didn't really much like Donkey Kong 64. I just picked up also Diddy Kong Racing. And again, I think Mike Klein is the one that told me. I originally thought that Diddy Kong Racing was a like very similar to Mario Kart, but it's not. So I apologize to everyone who I offended by comparing Diddy Kong Racing to Donkey or to Mario Kart. Yeah, so we showed off a couple of the new games I got earlier. So I have a GameCube game. I need to get better shelves. Hopefully, once I move, this will be a lot easier, and I'll have some nicer shelves to take stuff in and out. But if anyone knows what this is, still asking where this came from, what um, what it came with. It's a not for resale GameCube game that has 5 demos on it, and I'm not very familiar with where it came from or what it is. But I picked it up because it looked cool. Be amazing if they bring the old GoldenEye on Switch too. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Or just kind of like remake another James Bond game. There hasn't really been a real hitter of a game since GoldenEye for James Bond. But the analog is making a Nintendo 64, which will be fun. But they should definitely redo it. Always looking for a DK Banana Sleeve for the N64 controller. That's rare. Yeah, I think that's pretty expensive too, like several $100, but that's definitely rare. I would not be interested in it. It's not something I would look for. I don't really like DK64 because of all the characters and how you have to switch back and forth. Yeah, I don't like games where you have to switch back. I never liked Banjo Kazooie, or Banjo Tooie or whatever. I never really got into those games either. Diddy Kong Racing is the best racer on N64. Mike, I agree. Yeah, I slept on it, guys. I slept on it, and I apologize. And at some point, what I'm gonna do is I do stream on Twitch occasionally, but I think I'm gonna start streaming on here. I like the environment on YouTube a lot better. So once I can get everything set up and good to go, I'm gonna start streaming the on Diddy Kong Racing. Hoping for a new Diddy Kong Racing for the Switch too. It's been way too long. Maybe. I don't see it happening though. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't see Diddy Kong Racing happening in the future. Um, let's see what they should make is another Batman game. These Batman games are awesome. Batman and Robin. You'd watch me stream Diddy Kong Racing? Sweet. Well, I need to get back into it. I haven't done any streaming lately, so I'll have to start. So would you? Nice. I used to do, so I've done a couple of streams and all the timer challenges. Oh, I'm sure I would get so frustrated. I'm not good at racing games, but I did stream. Let's see, what have I streamed so far? I did some streaming on Twitch. Like it's probably been 3 or 4 months since I've done any streaming, but I did like Fatal Frame. I streamed that. I streamed the Dino Crisis games, which are a lot of fun. Getting all the keys. Yeah, I don't know what that means because I've not played it, but it sounds like that is an impossible challenge. But we'll see. It could be fun. I don't know. If there's any other games you want to see me stream, let me know. If there's any other games that I don't have that you recommend, definitely also let me know. So I've seen a lot of people have been streaming Echo the Dolphin recently. I don't know why, but it's taken off in popularity. I played it on Sega. It's kind of a weird game playing as a dolphin and like battling aliens and stuff. So I don't know. For some reason, it's gotten more popular lately. Someone said I should stream Dr. Mario. I think that would be interesting. I never was a huge fan. I just had to get it because it's Dr. Mario, obviously, and the whole doctor thing. But never really liked Tetris or Dr. Mario. I mean, Tetris was fun for a while, but it's not really a game I go back to and play anymore. What was your first completed game? Like ever? Like the first game I ever completed? The first game I ever completed was Resident Evil. This is the very first game I completed from start to finish, I think. And then does anyone want to guess what the second game I completed from start to finish would be? This was the second game I completed, Resident Evil 2. The Doctor plays Dr. Boom first stream. Yeah, so I was on like a huge Resident Evil binge playing thing when I was younger. So I played a lot of Resident Evil games. Those were kind of the first ones I beat. Um, well, I guess I guess Super Mario Bros. 3 I beat before that. So maybe that. Ocarina of Time with a manual. Use the manual. I don't even think. Gosh, do I have Ocarina of Time? That sounds bad, but oh yeah. Let's see. Oh no, wait. I don't have. Oh yeah, I have Ocarina of Time. Phew. For a second there, I thought maybe I didn't have Ocarina. Let me see. Is this a? Nope. This is not a repro. Everything looks good on that case. So, but I also have the Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask and Ocarina are the only Zelda games I played start to finish. I know that sounds bad. I played a lot of the Nintendo ones. Um, and then I played the Super Nintendo or the N64 ones, but I've never played any of the Wii ones, any of the Switch ones. I never played any of those Zelda games. And I thought this was interesting, so I picked it up. It was cheap. It's called Zelda The Missing Link. It's like a ROM hack, so it's not an official game or anything. So, but it seemed interesting at the time. So, what are you guys playing right now? Are you guys currently playing through any games? Mario RPG was my first, then Ocarina. I want to obtain a copy of Mario RPG. I saw one for sale, but they were charging $102 for it, and I think it's like 50 bucks on price charting, and this was just a loose copy, so I did not buy it. But I do want to buy it and play it just because I've heard good things. And I was hesitant to play Paper Mario because I didn't think I'd like it, and someone suggested it, and I actually liked it. So never got a chance to play Majora's Mask. Oh, Majora's Mask is fun. I like Majora's Mask. I like Ocarina for sure. Ocarina obviously has the Ocarina that you can play. Majora's Mask is my favorite of all time. You got to listen to Mike Klein. He's the expert. If he says Majora's Mask is his favorite of all time, then it's the best one. I heard it was better than Ocarina. I like Ocarina better, but Majora's Mask is pretty good. It just has like the different masks as opposed to the Ocarina. But it's fun. It's definitely fun. But Mike Klein is the local guru on all things Zelda. So if you guys like Zelda stuff, I've got also this promotional disc on GameCube for Zelda. I know Zelda's like really popular, but I'll be honest, I'm not like super into Zelda. I've never been like super into Zelda. And then we got the other Zelda demo disc here. Comes with the Master Quest. So this is fun. It's definitely different than Ocarina. Yeah, I think Ocarina is my favorite. Ocarina is probably my favorite. Um, and then, but I haven't played all of them, so I guess I can't really make a good judgment on which one is the best, you know. So I think what I'll do this weekend is do another live stream, and I'll try and try and show off some of my more like rare stuff that I have in cases out there, like some of the sealed stuff and some of the more expensive stuff. Right now, don't laugh playing Mario Maker 2. Oh, I never played the second, but I played the first one. I had a lot of fun with Mario Maker. Mario Maker is a lot of fun. I just enjoyed going online and playing other people's levels that they made. I personally think, and heard it here first, if it actually happens, then I get credit for it. I think they should make a Mario Kart Maker where you make your own Mario Kart level. I think that would be a lot of fun. Making courses anyway. I love playing. I love playing um, Mario Maker and courses that people made. Dark and the time system takes a minute to get used to, but once you do it, oh yeah, the time. That's right. That's the one with the time system. I hated the timing system, but it does add an extra element to make it a little more fun. Sorry, I'm a Nintendo fan. Hey, no judgment here. I love Nintendo too. I just, didn't grow up with it as much. There are some good games on it. I love all systems equally. I don't hate any one system. I just don't collect handhelds and stuff because I just don't have the time or the money for that. Have you got Metal Gear Solid on GameCube? I don't have it on GameCube. I have Metal Gear Solid on PS1, and then I also have dropping games, huh? So I have Metal Gear Solid for PS1, and then I have for PS2. I have Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty complete in box. Got Metal Gear Solid 2: Substance complete in box. I've got Metal Gear Solid 3: Subsistence complete in box, and Metal Gear Solid 3: Snake Eater complete in box. And I also have Metal Gear Solid VR Missions for PlayStation, which we showed earlier. And it's a fun game. If you're a fan of Metal Gear Solid, I highly recommend it. So Ocarina is still the best, I think. Like forever will be. But personally, I like Majora's the most. It's the only Zelda game that's like, well, that. Well, that would be awesome. New Mario Kart will have open worlds. Yeah, I know it'll have open worlds, but I wish they would make a way so you could just make your own level. That'd be sweet. And you can have like shortcuts that only you know about and people can find. I think it'd be pretty cool. GameCube is the only system I never played. I have everything else. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do NES, SNES, N64, Dreamcast, PS1, PS2, Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, Sega CD, GameCube, and that's it. That's all my collection. As far as current gen, I do Xbox One. That's basically what I play all of my new games on because all my friends have one. That way we can play together. Mario Kart Maker is honestly like a good idea. Yeah, no, I know. You're surprised that I had a good idea. It's really, when you think about it, it's a good idea. And I think that we might see it. We'll see. That's my prediction. I had a PlayStation 2 and 3. I used to play Afro Samurai and Pac-Man. Oh yeah. Ooh, my favorite Pac-Man game of all time. Let's see. My favorite Pac-Man game of all time. Where is it? Oh, this is my favorite Pac-Man game of all time. Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures on Sega Genesis. This was so fun. I don't have the manual for this game, but this was such a fun game to play. I didn't like the original like arcade style Pac-Man, but this is like a side scroller and it's like a kind of like an adventure. It's really cool. You can actually play the original Pac-Man on here too. There's like an arcade in the game, but it's pretty cool. Pac-Man and NBA Street. I think I have NBA Street. Let me check. NBA Street. NBA Street. There it is. Yeah, this is a good game. I don't really like sports games that much, but this was a fun one. NBA Street, NBA Jam was also a classic. I have that, I think, on Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. And then NBA, no, Looney Tunes Basketball was another good one for Super Nintendo if you ever played that one. That one was a lot of fun. Right. Clock Tower goes back here. The Simpsons games. They all go down. I do have this. I do have this Pac-Man game for PS2. Pac-Man World 2. I don't think I have the first one. Samurai Warriors Empires PS2. I think took most of my time as a kid. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. That was my jam. I found my people. Yeah, we're welcoming here. Everyone's welcome. No one gets turned away for their opinions on video games. We're all about building community and learning together, seeing things we've never seen. So, speaking of obscure games, I have Obscure, which is another PS2. Oh, this is the one. This is the one that can be two players, 1 to 2 players. So, but it's another survival horror game, which I need to play since I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Hopefully, I can at some point sit down and start playing some of these games. I'm gonna be off work for a little while as I transition to a new job and a new place, so I might have some more time to play and get involved in some more games. So I haven't done a count of games. I think last count, so I have a stack of about maybe 20 or so, maybe a little more, 20 games over here that I have to sort through. Every time I buy a game, I always put it in, make sure it works, and play it for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I put it in my shelf in alphabetical order, and then I um, catalog it on price charting. So I think last check on price charting, I had a little over, I had like 670 games. So I think I might have almost 700 games now, but we'll see. We'll see. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all being here. Um, just here chatting about games and whatever you guys want to do, whatever you guys want to talk about. Down for whatever. Games, life, anything. Switch 2 pre-orders were last night. Some people had success. I've seen people are selling them for $700 on eBay now. If you stream here on YouTube, I'd watch. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I think I'm kind of done with the Twitch streaming. I started with that for a little bit, but I think I'm going to stick with YouTube because I have my podcast on YouTube. Um, I think my main focus is going to be YouTube. I also got an Instagram where I show off my account on Instagram, just my different games, like a new game every day. And I post a lot of video game related memes on TikTok. If you guys want to follow me on TikTok, I try to post one every day. Try to post every day on TikTok and every day on Instagram. I don't always post every day on YouTube. I post a new podcast episode once a week on Wednesdays. So I am Silent Hill all the way, but like Resident Evil 7 on PlayStation 4 then. I don't like the new Resident Evils, man. As someone who loves Resident Evil, I think you have a paradigm shift in the game. So once you get to Resident Evil 4 and they start making it like over the shoulder and kind of like that view, I felt there was a change and a shift in the game. Resident Evil 4 was good, don't get me wrong. 5, had the co-op, right? So that was cool, that was interesting. 6 was 6 could be better. Uh 7 and 8, man, I just didn't like. I just thought it was nothing like when they made it completely first person and I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan to be honest with you. I like the originals much better. Are you on Threads? No, I don't have Threads. I don't have Threads or X or Twitter or any of that. I thought about getting a Discord. People have asked me to get one of those. I know some people who have a Discord. Maybe I will do that in the future. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. So, but yeah, guys, make sure you follow and tune in to new episodes each week. I like talking about games. I like meeting new people, learning about their collections. If you guys have suggestions of people to be on the podcast who are pretty cool collectors, I'll reach out. I do that sometimes and they say no, but that does happen. Discord is cool. Yeah, I can't, for whatever reason, I've joined a couple Discords on some of my friends who are also like streamers in the retro gaming community, and I turn off the alerts, but I still get the alerts, and it bugs me because I get alerts like all the time, and it's kind of annoying. If I can find a way to turn that off, I'd like it much more, but I mute them, but for some reason I still get them. So I might make one, but right now I don't really have a reason to. If I'm gonna go live on here, I usually will announce it on my Instagram page on my story. And then I have a schedule for my shows that come every Wednesday. I want to start maybe doing some live shows where I interview some collectors. But we'll see if we can get that working. I got some logistics to work out with the streaming software I use and YouTube and everything. So hopefully we can get that to work. But I haven't really seen a Discord. I know a lot of people use it to advertise and say, "Hey, I'm online now," but I do that in other ways, and we'll see. But yeah, if anyone wants to, feel free to promote the show, share the channel, do all those things. I still pop up. Yeah, you do, Mike. Found your channel via Super Tendo's interview. Oh, sweet. Yeah, Super Tendo's a cool guy. Like I said, he doesn't, or I don't like Zelda much, so I wanted to do a show about Zelda, and I wanted to learn more about Zelda myself. And he was very knowledgeable, so I like talking to him for sure. Yeah, Super Nintendo. I did a whole Mario episodes. I'm going to do a whole Resident Evil episode. If you guys have any suggestions, I'm going to do an episode at some point where two collectors go head to head and they try and guess some knowledge of maybe like music from video games and see who gets more points and gets more right. But again, I'm still working on the logistics of that. I would probably do it live. I want to do some more live stuff because I think doing live things and interacting with people and getting comments as we go is pretty cool, fun to do. You can't escape my whatnot show dog, dude. I turned your notifications off. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. But still, Nick Gamer says hi. Nick Gamer, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. We've been on here for 2 hours. We're just showing some games off, some cool games in my collection, talking about streaming and stuff. We talked about Switch a little bit. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. At new episodes every week, every Wednesday. Helps the channel grow, helps the message get out. This is just all about learning and spreading knowledge of retro games because there's a lot of people out there who are selling games for a price maybe they shouldn't. There's a lot of resellers who buy games and sell them for, double asking. There's a lot of price inflation that goes on and a lot of people who sell reproductions. So I just want this out there for there to be knowledge for people to learn and see new stuff maybe you've never seen before. Because when I started collecting, I struggled and didn't know where to start. So hopefully you can watch some podcast episodes and learn something. New one of those comes out every week, every Wednesday. Um, yeah, feel free to drop any questions if you want to see if I have a certain game, if you want to recommend a game that I play, or if any questions, what's your favorite game, what's your favorite console, where I found that this is a very welcoming community and everyone's very nice. So we're always, everyone's always very helpful, and we love talking about games. So anything, feel free. And again, anybody's just tuning in, I showed off earlier some of the games I got. I picked this up. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of preview disc that came on the GameCube. I thought it was cool. I like these kind of things. I like these not for resale things. I think those are really cool. So yeah, let me know if you know anything about that. Do you like Pokemon then? Man, I'll be honest with you, I don't. I do not like. I never got. It's not that I don't like it. I never got into the Pokemon games. So a lot of them are on handheld, and so I don't collect any handheld stuff. But I do like Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Stadium for N64. I spent a lot of hours on those. I still need to find a copy of Pokemon Snap. Whoops. And then Pokemon Stadium. I think yeah. So I have a not for resale version of Pokemon Stadium, the first one. Like we talked about, these are the not for resales that were in the kiosks at stores and stuff. So I do have that. But that's probably the only Pokemon games I have. I did like a raffle for some games on Whatnot a while back. And I picked up this game for Wii U. It's sealed, hasn't been opened. Um, I'll probably trade it in because again, I don't collect Wii U. I'm thinking about, I don't know, maybe I'll trade it in. Maybe I'll do some kind of a raffle or something for my followers. I don't know what the rules and stuff on that are. I'll have to look into it, but I do want to somehow get rid of it in a fruitful way, maybe by giving it to someone or getting some trade-in credit so I can buy some games that I want. I take it that you like Pokemon then, Alex. I did play Pokemon Go for a while on the phone. I was into that for a little bit. I never, when it came to like the originals, Red, Blue, Yellow, all those on Game Boy, I never got those. I never played those. So, do you buy physical games or do? Oh, absolutely. So physical when I can. So everything I buy and everything I own is physical. I don't do emulation. I'm not a big fan of that. I think there's something about being able to like touch and feel a game. For NES, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64, I buy loose because I don't cardboard's hard to hang on to and it's way too expensive just to buy a game with cardboard and I just really want to play the game. So I buy those just loose because it's much cheaper. And then for PS1, PS2, GameCube, Sega Genesis, um, Sega CD, and Sega Saturn, I buy complete in box, so manual and case as well because I think it looks nicer. It's nicer to display on the shelf. Um, but the only games I buy digital are like Xbox One, and even then, I still buy a couple. I bought Deadpool recently for Xbox One, which was a complete in box game. But like Indiana Jones, I bought recently. That was digital. So it just depends on the console. The newer ones I do digitally for Wii and Switch as well for me. Yeah. All my Switch games, none of my Switch games are digital. Um, they're all complete in box games. Digital in case the cloud dies. That's true. You never know. You never know. It's nice to have digital. I like digital too because your friends can borrow. Yeah, yeah, physical. Yeah, 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 I know what you meant. But I like physical copies because you can also like let your friends borrow it. It's hard to let your friends borrow a digital game, and at least when I was growing up, my friends and I would trade games a lot or borrow games from each other, and you can't really do that when things are all digital. So, guys, again, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like the channel. Make sure you share it. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on here on YouTube. It's all under Dr. Gamer Retro. Some funny stuff on TikTok that I try to post daily. Post daily on Instagram pictures of my collection. I also post weekly podcast episodes on here. Just trying to spread the joy and love of retro gaming. I feel like it doesn't get a lot of love these days. I feel like there's a lot of people into it, but maybe some people who are not sure where to start or what to do. Have a great day. Yeah, you too. You too, Erica. Have a great day. So yeah, guys. Again, if you have any comments, anything below, if you want to see a game, recommend a game, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll probably do another one of these on Saturday. We can all chat and hang out. I hope to see you all there. I'm not sure what time yet, but just make sure you have notifications on so that you can get notified when I go live. And make sure you like the stream. And again, thanks everybody for being here. I hope to see you guys all next time on another live stream. These are fun. These are a lot of fun. I enjoy doing it. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Take care.